Meanwhile, California's oil spill crisis has taken a bit of a toll on the commercial fishing industry. And it is also affecting the tourism industry as well. It's been 2 months since the incident occurred at the Huntington Beach, but the residents are extremely worried about the damaged reputation and also the damage that the oil spill has resulted to their livelihoods. Our next report gets you all the details.
Orange County resident Brian Yoon, who comes to Huntington Beach to surf regularly, says he was here in October when the oil spill was first noticed.
First thing, I step onto the sand and there's just tar balls everywhere. So I'm already getting sand on my hand or tar on my hands and everything all over my board. And no, it was crazy.
The oil spill released nearly 95,000 liters of crude oil, 5 times less than initial estimates. Extensive cleanup allowed beaches to reopen 8 days later, but commercial fishing in the area remains prohibited. Meanwhile, the investigation into the spill remains ongoing. Last month, the U.S. Coast Guard named a Panamanian-registered cargo ship as a party of interest after an anchor dragging incident in January. And just this week, officials said a Liberian-owned cargo ship also is being investigated. Last week, California lawmakers met with state officials to discuss the oil spill response and evaluate the damage done to local communities. Huntington Beach Mayor Kim Carr says the city has spent nearly $500,000 on cleanup costs and had to cancel some large tourist events which affected local businesses.
It hurt our reputation as a tourist destination, and we're trying to get the message out to people that we are open for business, we are safe, we're clean, but we have seen reservations take a hit, and we know that the local businesses are also down.
Mike Ali, who owns a tourist shop near the Huntington Beach Pier, says he lost $50,000 when the last day of the Pacific Air Show was canceled.
So people take their vacation and they come down to the beach because we have nice weather. So we have lost that. Normally I have 10, 15, 20 European and Canadian customers a day renting surfboard, riding a bike. I have 0 today.
The environmental group Center for Biological Diversity said they intend to sue the U.S. government for failing to review and revise plans for offshore oil platforms and its infrastructure that were put in place decades ago.
The infrastructure off California is incredibly old and beyond the lifespan that it was originally intended. These oil companies or their predecessors installed the platforms and pipelines that we still see off California in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So they're decades and decades old. And the science tells us that the older oil and gas infrastructure becomes, the more likely it is to spill or suffer from other accidents.
The State Department of Fish and Wildlife said earlier this month that testing of fish for contaminants could take nearly 3 weeks, putting off commercial fishing till at least the end of November. Jenia Dulo for VOA News, Huntington Beach, California.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.